Everybody, and welcome back to Baking with Joy. Today we're making pistachio pudding cookies with white chocolate and cherries. And to make these cookies, we're going to put in 2 sticks of softened butter. And to that, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And to that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of almond extract. And we're just going to cream this up for a couple of minutes. And when it gets creamed up good, we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, everybody, I got my butter and my sugar, my almond extract all mixed up. And so now we're going to add 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour going in. And to this, I'm also going to add 1 3.4 ounce box of pistachio instant pudding mix. And it has a light green color. So when I get all this mixed up, I may add a couple of drops of this green food coloring gel to add the Christmas color. Okay, everybody, I've got my all-purpose flour mixed in and pistachio pudding mix. And after I got that mixed up, it was still a pale green, so I did add about 3 drops of this green gel food color. And as you can see, it's a pretty color green. Now, our last step before we bake these cookies, I've got 1 cup of Ghirardelli classic white chocolate chips. You're just going to put that in. And I have a cup of dried cherries. And you could use cranberries if you like. And I just took some scissors and just kind of chopped them up into smaller bits because they were kind of big. And I'm going to put that in. Oops, there's one. So I've got my spatula and I'm just going to stir this right on in. Once I get it stirred up, we'll be back. Okay, everybody, I'm back and I had my white chocolate chips and my dried cherries mixed in. And it's important to mention I did transfer it to the freezer, my cookie dough. I transferred it to the freezer for about 15-20 minutes just so it could firm up. And as you can see, I was going to try to scoop it out with my cookie scooper, but it is much too firm. So I'm having to roll it in the palm of my hands. You can see the mess I've got on my hands. So I'm down to the last ball, and I'm just going to put the last one right there. Okay. So I've got this new silicone baking mat. This is the first time I've used it, and I've spread it out. Now, I did lightly spray it with baking spray. I'm not sure whether you're supposed to. The directions said to. But anyway, I put a light coating. I didn't spray it real heavy. And so here are my cookies. They're ready to go in the oven. I'm just going to kind of flatten them out just a little bit before we slide them in. Some of the dough was really firm and some of it is sort of soft. So hopefully, you don't want to put your cookie dough in the oven right after you mix it up without chilling it for a little bit, because I have made that mistake before. Your cookies will just spread out and be flat. Okay, everybody, let me reach right over here and get me a paper towel to kind of clean my hands with all this cookie dough. And we're going to slide these into the oven at 350 degrees. I've had my oven preheating, and so it's at 350, and we're going to slide them in for roughly about 10 minutes, and we'll come back when they're done. Cookies are done. I've got the rest of them cooling off on my little baking sheet, and I put these in a pretty little plate, dusted them with some powdered sugar so you could see. They're really pretty, and like I said, this makes a great Christmas cookie while you're baking Christmas cookies this year. I hope you try them. pistachio pudding cookies with white chocolate chips and dried cherries. And also we put them in the oven for 10 minutes, but according to your stove, it might take 12, so I'm going to say 10 to 12. My oven took 12 minutes, but roughly 10 to 12 minutes is the baking time on these at 350. Okay, everybody, I hope you make these cookies and that you try them and that you like them. And Merry Christmas, and until next time, this is Baking with Joy.